back to my channel. My name is Marmie Newton, and as usual, I talk about content relating to the entertainment industry, like movies, TV shows, and songs that I have been listening to lately. So today I wanted to continue talking about The Circle. So I know that Netflix released I think 3 to 4 more episodes last Wednesday, and I've gotten the chance to watch it. And today I kind of want to give my opinions about, well, not my opinions, but just kind of my thoughts. Well, thoughts and opinions, same thing. But today I wanted to give my thoughts, share my thoughts on the next few episodes and see if the season got better, because overall my review for the last couple of episodes was that it was a little too boring, had too much AI, and was just it felt too repetitive. So I want to share and see how the season has improved so far. My score for the last couple of episodes was a 2.5 out of 5, and so let's see if today they have moved higher up in the rating, or if the show has gotten worse, or if the season has gotten worse. So without further ado, let's get into it. Well, the last time we left off, Steffi was potentially on the chopping block, or Miles was voted the most human, and which is just another way of saying that he was an influencer in the circle, and he needed to send somebody home, and he needed to make sure that the person he was sending home was going to be, was the AI. I feel like what would have made the show even more interesting would have been if they had, amped up the stakes a little bit and been like, hey, well, if you are able to figure out who the AI is, you get to stay, and you get to stay, and if whoever you vote out is not the AI, both you and that person have to leave. I think that would have made the season even way more interesting. But let's see. So what ended up actually happening was Miles voted Steffi out. He said that she was the AI. He was obviously wrong. It was Max the whole time. I thought he had to do the blocking in person, I think, right? He did. I don't know. I saw this episode last week. I don't know why it took me so long to film this video, but here we are. Yeah, so he ended up blocking her. I remember them having a conversation in person. I thought it was a little bit awkward because he was literally shit talking her the entire time that they were playing the game. So I didn't think it was gonna go that great. I didn't think they were gonna get along, become the best of friends. He literally talks to her for a little bit on camera, and then he never really mentions her again for the rest of the season. So let's see. Next, let's talk about the poor traits game. Poor traits game. I thought that honestly, for someone who didn't start out as an OG, QT has been playing she is such a gamer in the circle. I feel like she has been playing such a strong game, and I really thought that for the poor traits game, she did a good job at just making sure that, kind of making sure she was getting bumped up in the ratings by painting a really bad portrait of Kyle, and trying to make it seem like it was Olivia. And from what I can tell, or from the other episodes I watched, it doesn't seem like Kyle even knows that Olivia did not paint that portrait. Like, him and Olivia are cool now, and they're getting along and stuff, and even flirting, I think, but he still doesn't know that, they haven't even spoken about the portrait, and they haven't talked about it enough for Olivia to be like, hey, no, I didn't paint anything about you, what are you talking about? For Kyle to be like, then who did? But at this point, I feel like it's not really going to affect anything. But that was a good strategy for QT to implement. That was good. I liked it. And then next, I want to talk about Miles and just kind of the portrait that he painted of Cassie. I think he was trying to paint it up like pass it off as a joke and try to be like, oh, it was all like, it's all fun and games, but it's all fun and games till somebody gets sent home. In this case, Cassie gets sent home. That was sad though. I kind of like Cassie. She's cute. I liked her accent. She was a mom, and she was nice. She seemed nice. I don't know her, but I thought that I think Miles was actually taking shots at Cassie when he was forced to, not really forced. I feel like honestly he was being super genuine and just kind of admitting, to her that, hey, like, I painted it. It was pretty awful, but I mean, she also told him that he had a blonde moment of being dumb and sending Steffi home instead of Max. So I don't know, but I like the way that he stepped forward and he was like, I'm sorry, I did this, and he also owned up to it in the circle. I feel like people didn't really, like, his apology didn't really resonate with people at all, and if anything, the other players felt like Cassie was kind of an asshole for making Miles kind of, in the actual circle chat admit to the mistake and then kind of keep harping on it. It just felt like a little bit too much. So unfortunately, when Kyle and QT became influencers the next time, they ended up sending her home. Honestly, I think that Olivia reaching out to Kyle, or Brandon, who plays Olivia, reaching out to Kyle and being like, hey, like, just kind of trying to connect and having a deeper conversation about losing both their dads allowed Kyle to feel a little bit of a connection towards Olivia, and that's why he didn't send her home. But I feel like if that conversation hadn't happened, it would have most likely been Olivia going home instead of Cassie. So, but I mean, I don't dislike Olivia and I don't dislike Cassie. For me, it was either way. Like, if Olivia had gone home, it would have been whatever. If it had been Cassie, I feel like, and Cassie went home, it was sad at first, but then I was just kind of like, okay, let's move on with the game. Nothing crazy, I feel like. So that is that. Next, I wanted to talk about the pairs game. Oh my god, the ride or die. I thought that was good. Those were very fun. I've been watching The Circle since season 1 till now, and I don't think that there's actually been a season where they've actually been, that's too much actually. I don't think there's been a season where they've had, someone is honking their car. I don't know what's up with that, but I don't think there's actually been a season where they've had the ride or die, plot like that. And so it was cool. It was cool to see. I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice. It was so sad that I really, really thought that that Lauren and Autumn, I was gonna say Winter. Lauren and Autumn, I really thought that with the shit that Lauren pulled, can I say shit? I don't know. Is YouTube, I don't know. I don't know if I can say that word on here, but if the stuff that Lauren pulled ended up being kind of their downfall, ended up being their downfall, because I really thought that they would end up ranking low and not, they would go home. Honestly, things like that makes me doubt the legitimacy of the game. I think that it was just so obvious that they would get voted lower. I don't know what algorithm they're using to tally all the rankings, but it just, I don't know. It felt like everyone was piling on Winter. It just doesn't make any sense that she didn't come in last. But also, that's just the game. If they're cheating, if the producers are cheating, I guess they are. I'm not sure, but whatever will be, will be. And then also, but I also feel like Paul had caused a lot of stuff, just kind of calling people out unnecessarily in the group chat, just kind of being a menace all around. It just seemed like such you know, he was just like creating way too many problems. It doesn't really shock me that he was at the bottom. What shocks me the most is that he was the bottomest. I think that's what it was. I thought that it was most likely going to be autumn. I was gonna say winter again. Winter is coming. Okay. I thought it was most likely okay. I thought it was most likely going to be Autumn at the bottom and then maybe Paul next, but you know, she got lucky when Autumn got lucky, and I feel like that was fair because Paul has had his time in the circle. He has had time to be able to build connections and just kind of do, because he came in exactly when Kyle came in. So for Kyle to be like way ahead and for Paul to be like below, way down there, and just kind of dragging their ride or die down, I just feel like, you know, even if the producers are rigging the game, they rigged it to make it fairer, because Autumn did not deserve to be on the chopping block the first time, like her first elimination. It's just like, and I just felt like Lauren said one bad thing about her, and then like Miles and Olivia had already conspired to try to, you know, take Autumn out, and it just kept going. And QT also mentioned Autumn's name, and they don't even know her. I guess it's just the game, but it was just really sad. I felt bad for her, you know, just no. But yeah, I also feel like Paul was just generally super mean. Like, I feel like if you're gonna be playing a game that hinges on stabbing people in the back to get to the top, you gotta have some convictions. You gotta have just people that you're not gonna stab in the back, you know, like the Tres Fuegos, you know, group with Miles, QT, and Kyle. Like, I mean, as of now, I haven't seen any of them try to stab one of the three in the back or anything of sorts, but it just feels like Paul's creating all these alliances with people, kind of like Lauren, actually, creating all these alliances with people, and then when it comes down to it, he's not following through, or he's just like creating alliances with other people, kind of like he did with Lauren, and then going behind their back and just talking shit about them. So like, obviously you're gonna end up at the bottom if you're creating alliances and then talking shit about your alliances to other people. That's just not a very strategic way of trying to win the game. So it just, like, it makes sense that he ended up going home, you know. I was glad that she made the sacrifice for Kyle, because it just did not seem fair. Like, it also, if they had both chosen to stay, they would have both gone home. It just, like, you know, if they had both chosen to stay, they would have both gone home. Paul was clearly the reason why they were at the bottom. It only made sense for her or him, the player, to choose to make sure that to choose to be more in favor of Kyle. Because I mean, if you're gonna go out, at least you might want to go out with the making sure that the viewers don't hate you, at least. Because I mean, I was honestly up to here, like up to my, like, just on my last, like, little bit of patience with Paul by the time he got sent home. I think he got eliminated at the perfect time, because I was just like, this is too much. Lastly, I want to talk about Jordan. Jordan, while Autumn was having a hard time being new in the game and just kind of being piled upon, Jordan kind of had the luxury of being liked, right by, and also not just being liked, he was liked by one of the major players in the game, which was Miles, right? And they got off to a really good start. Miles literally said he needs a circle BFF, like that could be Jordan, and he was just like, honestly, watching the circle makes me have trust issues sometimes, because you're just like, oh, I guess we're chatting, like we're like having a good time over text, and then like they're on the other side and like they're saying the most freaking malicious things ever. Because he was just like, I don't even think Miles really did anything to Jordan at all, and he just like was going in on him, like shit talking him to everyone he could, shit talking him in his apartment. Can I say shit? I don't know, but I've said it a lot of times right now. So YouTube. But yeah, he was just like going around like, you know, saying all these bad stuff behind him and, you know, behind Miles's back, and, you know, it's just really sucks. It really sucks, because like, imagine if you think you're like, you know, being friends with someone, it's going great, and then, you know, behind your back they're doing all of these things, and it's like also on purpose because it's completely unprovoked. He's literally not done anything at all to like be deserving of that kind of behavior, at least not from Jordan. Miles hasn't done anything for Jordan to dislike him. Miles has done stuff for other people to dislike him, but not Jordan. So I don't know why, but we will find out more about Jordan and Jordan's actions and how things end up faring for the next couple of episodes, for the next chunk that's coming out next Wednesday, May 1st, I think. I have seen those episodes already as at the time I'm filming this video. So what I can say is, if you have already seen it, you know, with the Jordan stuff. If you haven't, there will be more Jordan stuff. And that's all I have to say right now. All right. Bye guys. Do not forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And feel free to support a little, you know, a small YouTube channel, so that I can keep making these really cool videos and talking about what I'm watching, what I've been watching lately. Feel free to subscribe and like. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day.